No, that's why I really can't miss
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to get stuff.
I know, I keep looking at everyone who's like sick.
Yeah, Monday I have three
I know, I had this huge jacket too. I had like undershirt, regular shirt, this coat. I'm like, why am I so cold? I'm never cold.
I'm not going to put your burger
And then I was like, did you see me like reach over to see if you're coming out of that?
No.
Do you have any general comments overall? I'm sure we can all ask you for specifics.
Yeah, I mean, we can probably, because, I don't think we screwed anything up, hopefully.
Oh, they're back.
Oh, we're good? All right, never mind then. Yeah, we'll give you some kind of general comments and let you go. I know you want to get your lunch and you still got another one today. I'll just go real quick. We wrote stuff down, so just take a look at that. In general, you guys did a really good job. I'd say you want to, I know it's early in the year, but you want to get off notes, as soon as you can. It ties you up. You can't do anything with your hands if you're holding something or doing that, and kind of sticks you to one spot of the room. So you want to be off the notes, and some of you were and some of you weren't. It's early, I get it. Just do what you can to get to that point. Really when it comes down to it, with the objections and the arguments, just be confident with it. Whether you're right or wrong, you could have absolutely no basis. Just, it's your courtroom. You're just letting everybody else use it, and just go out there and say it. And it's not, you'll want to avoid the I think, I believe, I would argue. It's, no, this is it. This is the fact, this is the law, this is how it goes, and this is how you should apply it. I'm right. And the more confidence you have with that, the more a judge is going to be able to decide on your side of things. But you guys handled that stuff pretty good. I'll give some just basic discussions for the most part. I mean, the openings I thought did a really good job of giving a story, which is key. In mock, and really in real life, they kind of say, they talk about real trials, they talk about jury voir dire being the most important part of the actual trial, and then the opening is the next most important part of the trial. Definitely in mock, opening is the most important part. Your witnesses will make no sense if you don't have a clear story in your opening, because it tells the judges what to listen for. It's just like in real life. Closing, you want to use more for the arguments, and that's really kind of the key. You don't want to just recite the evidence that came through, and I thought you did a good job of making the arguments and kind of saying that. If you're just reciting the evidence, the jury's not going to hear that. Basically, in real trials as well, if you are trying to convince people in your closing, you lost. So that's not the time to convince them. You do that through your evidence. Closing is used to arm your favorable jurors. The people who are on your side, you're going to give them the tools so that when they go back to deliberate, they're going to be able to get the non-favorable jurors to just shut up and agree with them eventually, because they won't have those tools, hopefully, if the other side's not doing their job. You can kind of just give them the tools by saying, look, in a few minutes, the judge is going to give you some instructions, and you're going to go back and deliberate. You're going to have to come to a decision, and you're going to have to explain your decision to each other. So I want to give you some ideas on how you can do that job and help you out with that. And then as you go through each argument, you can kind of put it in terms of, so if somebody back there in deliberation says X, Y, or Z, somebody says this, and you pick the other side, remind them, and then give the argument on the other side of it. This is why that's wrong. And you kind of use it to attack each other's case at that point rather than just build your own up. And then the only other thing I'd say is that, demonstratives are great. If you can show stuff, people don't learn just by hearing it. Your jobs as advocates is to teach, and you're teachers. So the way it's supposed to really be teaching the jury your side of the case while you're presenting an actual, position. But if you can use some sort of demonstrative to do that, especially in close with the elements, that's probably really helpful to follow. But I think you guys did a great job.
I think you guys did really great too. A lot of my comments are basically, here's how to build for the rest of the year. One of the things that struck me is I heard Haley Floyd, was that her name?
Yes.
I heard her name more in closing than I did the entire case and evidence. I think I heard one witness on either side maybe mentioned her name once or twice about this knife thing. And then it was a huge element of this closing, whether or not she provided the knife. So if that's in fact, I need to hear her name or have something more about her, or have her as a witness. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know what stuff you have, but something more needs to be done with this Haley character if she's that important to your case. Another thing that I want to comment on, attorneys are all very well dressed, but for my 2 workers, no attorney would be caught dead sending their witnesses into a courtroom in jeans. My friend Greg here played a bum 1 year as a witness and still managed to put a shabby suit on.
I sent a witness up this in jeans.
Who was that?
It was my homeless guy. I represent a homeless guy. All he had was jeans, so let's
Alright.
put him in the same jeans.
But especially this limo driver, if I'm gonna buy you as a witness, because you own the limo company.
It was a last minute.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I actually
I
read
really
a
didn't
different
look at
case.
That direct was made in
affidavit.
5 minutes.
Okay,
The
see, that makes
was
more
longer than
sense.
the time that went into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in the future, always have a backup, because the way you present yourself on the stand is going to play huge into how you're perceived as a witness and your credibility. That's really funny what you said. A witness up in jeans.
I won that trial.
It worked.
Well, now I can never say never, right? Yeah, just, it's really good. Again, I'm gonna reiterate what Greg said, know your rules and get confident with your arguments. You have no idea how many arguments you will win being flat out wrong if you just sound like you know what you're doing. And also, don't confuse arguments. So if you're arguing hearsay, argue hearsay. If you're arguing character, argue character. Don't mix those things, because it gets very, very, very confusing. So those are my general comments. I don't know, should I lunch?
Great job, guys.